Hello there everyone and welcome to another Imperator Rome Developer Diary. This time we're going to be having a look at the Egypt mission trees. Now I will say straight off the bat, there is only mission trees in this dev diary. It's not like last time where we had a bit of information and some mission trees. This is just pure mission tree stuff, so if that doesn't interest you, and I know there are some people who just don't find anything of value in the mission trees, then yeah, there's your forewarning. But for those of you who would like to know more, stick around. Let's get into this. So, this one is from Areyes AK. It's, I think, the first time I've seen anything from them. Probably because they've only posted one time on the forums, and that's right here. But that's fine. Everyone's going to start somewhere. Hi everyone, it's a pleasure for me to make my official debut on the forums by presenting some of my work in the past months. This is Claudia from the content design team on Imperator Rome. As you might have guessed, there is plenty of Diadochi-themed goodies in the upcoming Heirs of Alexander DLC. Today we're focused on Ptolemaic Egypt. While not as adventurous or glamorous as his direct rivals, Ptolemaeus I founded the most successful and renowned of the Diadochi kingdoms, which lasted until 30 BC when Ptolemaeus' last descendant, the famous Cleopatra VII, was defeated and her kingdom annexed by the Romans. The 4 new mission trees from the DLC will accompany you through the greatest achievements and most challenging times of the Ptolemies, focusing on the early kings from the 1st to the 3rd Ptolemy, encouraging you to emulate and even surpass their successes. Each mission focuses on one side of Ptolemy's politics, the conflict with the Antigonids first and the Seleucids later in Palestine and Phoenicia, the constant menace from the neighbouring people of Cyrenaica and Kush, the dominion of the Eastern Mediterranean, and the economic and cultural development of Egypt, and in particular of its capital, Alexandria. Lovely stuff. Sounds good so far. One complaint I have heard already from this tree, or from this dev diary, is that the missions are very focused on the very early parts of the Ptolemies. It's a mission tree pack that isn't going to last you the entirety of the game, let's say. And I feel like maybe there's an element of a point there to be made, because yeah, he's just said there that the mission trees are going to be focusing on the early kings from Ptolemy 1 to 3. That's not very much into the game. Like 3 kings is that's not a whole lot of time. Maybe 150 years at best. But, you know, I suppose you've still got the fallback of the generic trees as well. So I guess that's fine. It's just, I feel like Rome maybe went a bit further than that. Like, there was a lot more far-reaching Roman trees, you know. Although, you know, with the Roman mission trees, they came in a DLC where only Rome and Carthage got mission trees. This tree is coming in a pack where 5 countries are getting mission trees. So I guess it's maybe a little bit more spread out. All right, let's see what we have. So the eastern border. So this is going into Judea, pacifying it, going against the Antigonids, into Cilicia, Phoenicia. Lovely stuff. Greeks of Asia, Thrace as well, going after them. Interesting. Palestine and Phoenicia have always been the natural direction of Egyptian expansion. Just think that the famous Battle of Kadesh of Pharaoh Ramesses II was fought almost 1,000 years before our start date for this same area. The Ptolemies contended this area to the Antigonids first. Conceded? Or contended with, maybe? Anyway, they contended with the Antigonids first and the Seleucids later for centuries, with alternating fortunes. In this mission, you will lead Egypt to the limits of its historical expansion in Syria and beyond, while facing the specific challenges and reaping the unique benefits these lands have to offer. For instance, Judea was a turbulent subject for their Hellenic overlords at this period. For example, the Maccabean revolt against the Seleucids in 167 to 160 BC. However, if Egypt succeeds in improving your relationship with the locals, you will gain a juicy historical event chain, which is quite nice. You can guess what these ambassadors have to offer. So, since the time we subjugated all the lands of the Hebrews, our relations with the locals have become increasingly positive. More and more of their intellectuals have found a new home in Alexandria, where they have been deeply Hellenized and their wisdom has contributed to the development of a rich intercultural dialogue. Thanks to their mediation, the Hebrew people of Palestine now see us as friends and protectors and no more as invading enemies. While they are unwilling to abandon their peculiar local religion, they are becoming more and more Hellenized in culture and costume. Against this backdrop, the delegation of Alexandrine Jewish scholars has come to Ptolemaeus Soter Lagid with an offer. Interesting. Okay. Yeah, okay, fair. I would say it feels strange to see someone saying that, oh yes, these people who were very much, subjugated are now thinking as friends and protectors. That seems, especially as it's coming from the perspective of the subjugator, it definitely doesn't feel entirely legit, if I'm being honest. I suppose it is coming from your perspective, so from your perspective, maybe they are being a bit more friendly. Maybe the Jewish scholars are have a slightly different view, perhaps. Anyway, going on to Greater Empire, we've got Red Sea Ventures, Sicilian Ventures, Cyrenaica's there, Western Greeks, Cyrenaica again, lovely stuff. Elephant Trade, King of the Western Seas, and Ruler of Africa. As you can see, this mission has three main directions. On one side, you're encouraged to strengthen your position on the Red Sea by sending explorers, expanding ports, and conquering trading posts, which will force you to deal with Egypt's historical nemesis, the Kush. On the opposite side, you have the unstable western border with Cyrenaica. Despite being mostly of Greek culture, the area was hardly integrated into Ptolemaic kingdom, and offered a naturally restless playground for disloyal princes of the court. Before you freak out, yes, there was already some events dealing with Magus's revolt. Yes, they've been expanded upon and integrated into the mission. No, the previous events have not been paywalled. Instead, the central path is a cheeky challenge. Can you do better than Alexander himself and set up a western branch of the Macedonian Empire? Go and take out Carthage, for example. On a different topic, did you know that any attempt by the Ptolemies to breed African elephants for their army failed, so they were forced to capture wild elephants where they live naturally in modern days Eritrea and Sudan? I did not know that at all. We finally secured control over an African breeding ground of elephants. The Ptolemaeus Theron will serve as a base from which hunting expeditions will depart towards the inland, and ships loaded with elephants will travel north to the mustering grounds where they'll be trained to fight in our army. Hunting expeditions are dangerous and costly, they require time and hundreds of qualified hunters, and the risk of reducing the wild elephant population too drastically is always present, but this is the only way to ensure that our army can keep up with our eastern rivals. Cool. So, move on to Macedonian Pharaoh. We got royal capital, gifts to the Nile, entry to the Med, city of wonders, city of gods, city of sages, center of world trade, syncretism, that could be interesting, apotheosis, sounds good. Mission is entirely focused on developing your starting provinces and echoes the internal politics of the early Ptolemies. The city of Alexandria is the main focus of the tree, founded as a beacon of Greekness in Egypt by Alexander. The city was transformed into the Hellenistic world's true capital by Ptolemy I and his descendants. By developing the city's infrastructure, investing in festivals, building wonders, and introducing new cults, you will grow your capital into the finest city in the world. On the other hand, the Ptolemies did not neglect the Chora, i.e. everything outside of the cities, and you won't either, by investing in the colonization and reclamation of the lands along the Nile. Egypt was the home of a very ancient and well-rooted religion, so among the Ptolemies' politics of integration between the locals and the new Hellenic elite, a place of honor was held by the introduction of syncretic cults. Gods did not belong to either Hellenic or Egyptian religion originally, but was meant to become a natural part of both. To reflect the gradual and incidental nature of such innovations, these new cults will be introduced by missions such as below and follow-up events. Can you guess who the mysterious god is? Is it Ptolemy? Arbacilius had a dream. A mysterious god appeared to him in the semblance of a majestic man with a modius on his head and a scepter in his hand. Cerberus rested peacefully at his feet. The god commanded Ptolemaeus to collect his statue from Sinope, where he's worshipped as Pluton, and to bring his cult to Alexandria. Is it perhaps Pluto? That's a Roman name, isn't it? Pluton. one of several euphemistic names for Hades, described in the Iliad as the god most hateful to mortals. So Pluton is Hades. Alright, interesting. And he looks... I don't even know what a Modius is. A Modius apparently is a headband with earphones in it. Probably not. Modius, okay, it's a headdress. It kind of looks like someone's wearing a plant pot on their head. Fair enough, and I guess that's what Hades looks like, is it? And when you Google Hades, all you get is a whole bunch of the new Hades game. So I guess that's not quite useful, right? But yeah, okay, so this is Hades. Lovely. So we got Sea Wars Thessalocracy. We got Alexandrine shipyards, Asian harbors, Greek foothold, and roads. Those are what I was looking for, really. Is Egypt going to be pushed towards Greece? And Rhodes especially is a big target for them. I mean, Egypt already start with a few islands as a vassal, and I forget what name it is, but they're on the eastern side of the Aegean. Rhodian court, we got Kremonidean War, alright, and then Alexander's throne. Finally to the last mission. Its starting point is given by Ptolemy's interests and challenges from our starting date to his death. Still, the mission itself pushes the boundaries of Ptolemaic achievements and encourages you to answer the question: what would have happened if Ptolemy's maritime politics had been entirely successful and he had won the race to sea control against Demetrius? Secure historical Ptolemaic bases, challenge the other Diadochian Greece, and become the Eastern Mediterranean's hegemon to find out. There was no love lost between Ptolemaeus and Antigonus. I guess we're going into the fight against the Antigonids as well. Protector of the Aegean Sea. Only Antigonus I, Monophthalmus Antigonid, and his son Demetrius ever tried to gain complete control of the Aegean before. Only Ptolemaeus Soterligid succeeded where they failed. Now the numerous islands of the Aegean Sea are all under our protection, and for the first time benefit from peace and safety under the same banner. The islanders celebrate our arrival with festivals and offerings to the gods. Sure, I'm sure they do. I'm sure they do. On this note, I'm concluding my dev diary. I'll be looking forward to leading the Ptolemies to greatness, and we'll have fun with these new missions. Alright, so, missions, trees, and stuff. I'm gonna be honest, I was kind of hoping that we got something like we had last week, where we had something and missions. Dev Diary's really lacking the something, like the meat, any mechanical changes or news or anything like that. We didn't get any new models as we were promised. But for what it is worth, I mean, they seem fine. We don't know any of the mechanics of any of the bonuses that you get from any of the missions, so there's not really much you can say on those. All we really know is, what we've just read, which it's not much. It's not much. Let's be honest. Yeah. It's nice that they're going into a bit of. No, what if Ptolemy succeeded where he didn't, historically? Then what? He tried to become, hegemon of the sea, but he failed. But what if you succeed? Well, then this. It's nice that they're doing that, and it's not just, this didn't happen historically, therefore we have nothing. We have nothing for you. Let's have a look at some of the dev comments as well. Will the Alexandrian development missions be integrated with the Pharos and Musaean decisions? Pharaoh's Lighthouse, I think, and the Museum of Alexandria. They are now being integrated with the mission tree. I assume you'll still be able to do those if you don't get the DLC. I can't imagine that it would paywall, stuff like that. Interesting, we have missions related to religious syncretism in Egypt, and I'm curious to see this. One more thing, since we're talking about Alexander's heirs, has made me think one thing we'll have for anything for Bactria or Parthia or Parnia. I know they're not Diadoches, more because they have a certain importance in history and somewhat related to the Seleucids. This doubt arose. Who knows if Bactria goes independently and has full control of Bactria and Sogdiana regions? He could form Greco-Bactrian Kingdom, for example. This is already a thing, I'm pretty sure. I'm pretty sure well, there's a decision for a Greco-Bactrian kingdom. I don't think it changes your tag, though. There'll not be anything for the smaller nations. I'm afraid we're only adding new missions for the big Diadochi nations, so the big 5. But, you know, I can imagine that Bactria, being a rather important nation in the future, will have missions. So look forward to those if that's what you're into. But yeah, Dev Diary, final thoughts. For what it's worth, I like it. I like the stuff that we've seen. It's just, it's not what I'm looking for in a Dev Diary, and I think that's going to be the case for all of the mission tree Dev Diaries. It's not what I'm looking for in a developer diary. Like, I'm looking for mechanical changes to the game. This kind of stuff is more along the lines of stuff I would like to find out when playing. The only reason that I'm reading these dev diaries now is because, you know, to make these videos. If I knew beforehand that it was just mission trees and I didn't, you know, make these dev diary videos, I probably wouldn't read these ones. I do think they're better to just, you know, find in game. But hey, hopefully you're not like me and you like these kinds of dev diaries so that you'll watch my videos and give me the views. Because I need them, please. Yeah, but, you know, that's just me. That's the way I feel about them. But I would like to know what you guys think. So let me know what you guys think in the comment section below about the missions for Ptolemaic Egypt. Do you like mission trees in general? Do you think this is a good mission tree? What would you have preferred to see if there is anything else? Is there something missing? Which mission tree do you think we're gonna get next? Because we've had Seleucus, we've had Ptolemy, so we've got 3 left: Cassander, we've got Lysimachus, and we got Antigonus. I have a feeling that it's gonna be Lysimachus. That's where I'm putting my money. So anyway, until next week, thank you all very much for watching. I hope you've enjoyed this video, and yeah, if you want to help out the channel, then likes and comments are much appreciated for the algorithm. And I also have a Patreon page as well, a link in the description below. But until next time, thank you very much for watching again, and bye-bye.